Morning. It's funny how we try to convince ourselves as sports fans to believe what we want to believe. In this edition of Overreaction Monday, we're going to tackle the Steelers and this notion out there that the Steelers are back, man. Ben Roethlisberger is back. The Super Bowl hopes and dreams are back. Look, I'm a Steelers fan. I'm speaking to you as a Steelers fan. I don't cover the Steelers. I've never been a Steelers journalist, so I am a Steeler fan right now. And do I believe the Steelers are back? No. I think they had a nice quarter and three quarters. That's what that amounted to. Down 17 points. You're throwing things at your TV. You're cursing at the Steelers. You're thinking that this is the worst collapse in NFL history. I know it. That's what I was thinking. That's what any Steelers fan was thinking. In fact, I was kind of planning at that point to write a story of which is worse, Penn State's 0-5 start or this collapse by the Steelers. I do think that would have been a pretty good story had the Steelers, or comparison had the Steelers gone on to lose out. I'm a Steelers fan. I want them to win. Okay, so what did we see at the end of the Colts game with the huge comeback? Did we see that the Steelers are back? Did we see a legitimate Super Bowl contender? Or did we see a desperate team in desperation mode pull off a miracle that won't be able to be repeated? I'm a big basketball fan. If my team is down 60-40 with 7 minutes to go and all of a sudden they drill 10 out of 13 three-pointers and win a game, am I going to think my team is back? Or am I going to think that was a one-time type of deal and that, no, the reality is you're not going to get in that kind of desperation mode and have everything work for you like the Steelers did yesterday? So to me, the problems that existed at the beginning of the third quarter yesterday still exist, even though Ben had a great second half. And that's true. Look, I don't want to underestimate what he did. He made plays. He made big throws. The guys made catches. They got the running game going to a degree. Okay, on at least, a couple of situations. But in every short situation, they still had to throw the ball because they didn't trust their running game. All right, so Ben Roethlisberger, is his arm strength fully back because he had one good half? I think we have to be realistic. I woke up this morning, I'm seeing some of these headlines out there, and I'm not going to name who, but one in particular was, Big Ben is back. The Steelers' Super Bowl dreams are back. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I still think that the Steelers have a lot of problems, and I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer here. I am a Steelers fan. I want to see them win. I'm not, hey, Giger, you're just ripping on my favorite team. This is my favorite team too, all right? But we need to be realistic. In sports, what we do is like I said earlier, we convince ourselves to believe what we want to believe. But if the Steelers face a 3rd down and 2 against any really good defense at all in the playoffs, who's confident out there they're going to get that? You're not going to be able to run for it. They can't run for those kinds of plays at all. And do you believe Ben's going to be able to complete a high enough percentage on those little types of plays to extend that series, extend that drive, score those points? You think the Steelers are going to be able to come back again from 17 points down against anybody other than Phillip Rivers? That's been his entire career. Phillip Rivers' career has been blowing leads and then finding himself having to come back in the last couple of minutes of a game, which he couldn't do. I do think the Steelers' defense is still pretty good. But if you're out there thinking the Steelers are back and that they're legitimate Super Bowl contenders, have you seen the AFC, man? I mean, teams with 5 losses are wondering if they're going to get into the playoffs. 10-5 teams going into the last week of the season. 10-5 going into the last week of the season are wondering if they're still going to get into the playoffs. That's how tough the AFC is. So if you think the Steelers are back, I'm just not sure that you're being realistic with yourself after what we saw for the previous 3 weeks and for the first half yesterday. They did have a good half. There's reason to be optimistic. But as I mentioned, a lot of the problems that were there at halftime yesterday, they're still there. They were just able to get rid of them for a half and pick up a much-needed victory in the AFC North title. And there is merit in all that. But I'm still very, very cautious and pessimistic about how far this team can go in the playoffs. Have a good day, everybody.